Starting a conversation with a beautiful woman can be very frustrating and even terrifying for a lot of guys. So they often overthink it and they resort to oftentimes terrible tactics in a vain effort to get the girl. But it's actually a whole lot easier than you think if you keep the following 3 things in mind. And with the bar set so low, you can stroll on and approach any girl and win when you start applying the following 3 techniques to all of your interactions with women. And I guarantee your results will skyrocket. Number 1, approach within 3 seconds of seeing her. Because when you see a woman that you want to go up and approach and talk to, I want you to make sure to start approaching her within 3 seconds to short circuit the nerves in your, well, not only mind, but body. But from the time that you take your first step, or actually from the time that you see her and you take your first step, there should be no more than 3 seconds that go by. Do this every single time, no matter what, because it short circuits your brain's ability to come up with excuses. And we both know that a lot of excuses can and do often come up. And it also just conditions you to take action. It's like you see a beautiful woman and within 3 seconds, you just take that first step towards her. No thinking, no overanalyzing it, and no talking yourself out of it. And this conveys confidence when you walk up to her right away instead of her, seeing you following her or seeing that you're making eye contact a few times and then 10 minutes later you finally work up the courage to go talk to her. And of course, confidence is a huge attraction trigger for women. And I'm sure you already know that. So anyways, the next time you see a beautiful woman that you want to approach, count 1, 2, 3, and then take the first step towards her. Then, of course, take another step, then another, and eventually you'll be right up in front of her. Or you'll bail. Now, even if you bail before you get to her because maybe her boyfriend shows up or she jumps onto a bus or maybe you just chickened out, but either way, that's fine because at least you took action. It's still a success because you trained your mind and your body to take action. You're conditioning yourself so that every time you see a beautiful woman, you just get moving. You walk in her direction. If you do that 50 times or 100 times, eventually it's gonna become a habit and you're gonna see beautiful women and just automatically walk towards them. And that's the habit that I want you to have. You see and you go. Next, number 2 is open strong. Starting off with a strong opening starts the interaction off on the right foot. I know a lot of people say your opener doesn't matter, and that's kind of true because a lot of times the woman won't remember how you started the conversation anyway, and it's just a way to start a conversation and just get your foot in the door. But at the same time, first impressions do matter. So it's of paramount importance that you open strong and you start on the right foot. Now, fun, flirty opening lines that get her laughing are absolutely great. However, there's no problem with just keeping it simple, especially if you don't know what to say or you're feeling a little bit tongue-tied. So I'm gonna show you some really easy and great opening lines. I personally like banter openers because they're fun and flirty ways to start the interaction, especially in a nighttime environment like a bar or a club or even a lounge or even maybe a concert or a house party. So this is one I really like. I just walk up to her and I say, hey, have you noticed that you and I are like the hottest people in this entire place? It's true. So I figured we had to at least meet. That's the key. I almost said I had to at least meet you, but when you say we, it creates a feeling of togetherness. Try to use the word we as much as you can. Another one I really like is, hey, are you shy or something? Because I've been in here for like 25 minutes and you haven't come and said hi to me or bought me a drink or anything. You must be shy. Now, I really like that one because it's kind of like a role reversal, right? It's usually the guy's job to approach and start the conversation and buy her a drink. At least that's kind of the traditional role or the stereotype. So you're just reversing the frame, which makes it kind of fun and silly. And remember, people are there to have a good time. So see if you can get the girls bantering back and forth and laughing and being playful. And when you do that, it's awesome. Now, my favorite way to start a conversation during the daytime specifically is to be a lot more direct, because women are busy. So using something indirect or beating around the bush or asking them some off-the-wall question that you don't care about is just wasting not only their time, but your time. So get to the point. It's actually going to show a lot more attractive qualities, because beating around the bush and being indirect doesn't show any attractive qualities. It wastes a lot of time. So I like to show my intent and my interest right away, because that shows confidence. It shows that I must believe that the girl is also attracted to me, because why would I go up to her and tell her I'm attracted to her if I didn't believe she'd be attracted back to me? And of course, it all depends on how you say it, how you deliver it. But as long as you do it right, it can create a ton of sexual tension immediately. So, for example, I might say something like, hey, I just saw you over here, and I know this is a little crazy. I might even say, I know most people in whatever city I'm in, and I know most people in Singapore would never do this, but I had to come over here and risk embarrassment and at least say hi. Hi, I'm Matt. Can you feel that tension? But the point is, it's really simple, it's direct, and it just straight, flat out works. Another favorite opener of mine is the intro opener, which is where you just walk up to her and you introduce yourself. You say, hi, I'm Matt, or whatever your name is. And it works really well at nighttime events like bars, parties, and especially social gatherings like meetup groups, or pretty much any type of event or social gathering, like I just said. And all you do is introduce yourself. That shows a lot of confidence, and it shows that you don't need a reason or excuse to go up and talk to somebody. Now, I really like the I don't believe we've met yet, because it presupposes that you must know a lot of people and that you and her should meet. Now, make sure to say it with a very confident tonality, with very strong eye contact and a warm, friendly smile. Now, of course, feel free to modify these openers based on the situation or the type of girl that you're talking to, that you're approaching, and of course your individual mood or whatever the situation is. But what's most important to keep in mind is that 93% of communication is non-verbal. It's not the actual words you say. Your body language and how you actually deliver your opening statement is gonna matter a lot more than the actual words that you say. And finally, number 3, do not get caught up on the opener. Remember, the actual words that you say when you first approach her really aren't all that important. It's the overall vibe that you're giving off that really counts, how you're feeling on the inside. If you're already more advanced, for example, approaching, then it can be really cool to come back and kind of practice different types of openers. Try different things. Don't get stuck on one specific tactic or technique, because it's really about your body language, like I said just a second ago, which is conveyed by what's going on the inside. How much of a good mood you're in, for example, or how nervous and scared you are will have the opposite effect. But if you're a little less practiced, then just keep it simple. It's totally fine just to say whatever's on your mind, or just have one simple line or phrase that you say in the beginning. But eventually you want to get rid of that, because you want it to be as honest and genuine and authentic as it can, especially if you're going direct and you're giving her a compliment. It should be genuine. If it sounds canned or like you don't really mean it, then it's not gonna have the right effect. She's not gonna, it's not gonna sweep her off her feet. But the key is to get in the habit of just going for it instead of always second guessing yourself, and developing that habit will get you more women than any pickup line or tactic ever could. Not to mention a ton of success in other areas of your life as well, because confidence in this part of your life will transpire and overflow into other parts of your life. Now, of course, there are other ways to start conversations with women as well, such as being indirect or using an observation or something in the situation, or maybe something in the environment. once you've gotten your confidence up, they can be really fun to play around with different types of openers. But the problem with those kind of openers is it's hard to keep the conversation going because she doesn't really know the real reason that you're talking to her. And a lot of women are just not going to respond well to that, particularly during the daytime, like I said before, when people are busy. So like I said, don't be afraid to show your interest right away. A lot of guys are just afraid of that for whatever reason. They feel like they're giving their power away, but that's absolute bullshit. In fact, it does the exact opposite. It shows your power, that you're the type of man who goes for what he wants and he doesn't need to apologize for it or hide it. And of course, it all depends on how you do it. There's a very needy way to do it, which is gonna absolutely repel women. And then there's a really badass, more attractive way to do it that completely sweeps women off their feet. And that's gonna build a lot of sensual tension right away from the moment you meet her. And of course, that's gonna work a lot better. But what's key is that after you show interest in her, you slightly take it away by being a challenge, because if you show too much interest too soon, it just seems needy and it can push her away. It's like, I like you, I like you, I like you. You have to change up that vibe. If you keep saying I like you, it's just too much too soon. You have to also be a challenge. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself with that. That's beyond the scope of this video. We'll talk about that in another video. But if you want to dive deeper into becoming a challenge and not appearing needy and getting the kind of relationship that you truly want, then make sure to jump on a free breakthrough call with one of our specialists, and we'll dive really deep into what's holding you back and how to get the results with women that you've wanted in the fastest and easiest way possible. You have nothing to lose. So just go to mattartisonmentoring.com or click the link in my bio right now, and I'll see you there. Cheers, man.